Mail merging is a way to create multiple documents that are essentially the same, but may have one or two things that personalize that document for each of your students or each of your people in your staff. For this practice, I gave you two documents, the candidate list document and then the scholarship document. To make things easier, rather than keeping them in the OneNote binder, I'm going to right-click and save them both to my desktop. So that way I've got a place where I can direct all of my computer programs to. I'm just going to go to my desktop and save both documents on there for easy access. So now, the first thing I want to do is go ahead and find my Word document, scholarship. This is when I've already got a preset document ready to go. If you're creating your document, you would obviously type your document first, but now I've got my document kind of just ready. The first place I'm going to go to is mailings, because essentially we are, quote-unquote, mailing this document. I'm going to click on Start Mail Merge, and I know that this is set up as a letter. Typically, most people are either going to be creating a letter, an email message, or a label. That's probably the three most common things that mail mergers are going to be used for. You notice that nothing else really happens to your document except for the fact that the Select Recipients option now is clear. So I click on Select Recipients, and then I already have a list because I've got that file that I gave you. So use an existing list. And then I just find my existing list. That existing list, like I said, I put it on my desktop. That way it was very easy for me to find. And here I find it on my desktop. It's called Candidate List. And I click on Open. Again, you notice that nothing else happens to my document except for the fact that a ton more buttons have been opened up and I can use them. I can go in and edit my recipient list if for some reason I only wanted to include certain people in my list. So I've got my list here with the check marks. That means all of those people are going to be included. But let's say I did not want to include Ted and Alice. They did not get a scholarship, so I want to remove them from my list and click OK. So now I'm going to start to create those fields that are customized to my people. The easiest way to do it is using this Insert Merge Fields button, because you can see how the titles of each of my cells in my Access document show up. So I've got my first name, my last name, my address, city, state, and zip code to make it really easy. Now Word is a little bit smart where you can use things like an address block, and it will set up the address block based on how your list of students or list of people are set up. So I can just insert an address block here, and notice that you've got these two arrows on each side of your address block, and it shows me that this is actually a code. This is something where the computer is going to read from the list of people of their different addresses. I hit enter, and then I can actually put in a greeting line. So I can say, Dear Mr. Randall. Now, Mr. Randall is not in my options, but this is how my setup will look. So I've got my greeting line right there. Now I can go through the document and insert things like their first name, their last name, or something a little more personal. But if I wanted to go into that, I could go into this insert merge field with things like their teacher's name or your name. Once I'm finished, I can go in and preview my results. And what I can do is I can now see, oh, this is how it's going to be set up. Now, one thing I do notice is my spacing is off. So I can go in and select the spacing of my text and change that to remove the space after paragraph so that way it's formatted correctly. I can go back into my mailings and look at all of my previews. If you notice that I changed one of my options and it changed all of my letters. Once I'm done previewing my documents, I can go to Finish and Merge and then edit individual documents. Typically, I like to do this so that I can save the file as well. So you click on All and then click OK. Now what this does, notice this document is now called Letters 1, and I also have my original scholarship. So this is my original document that I was working with. You can see here, these are my codes. Here is my actual letter. So I can save this file because it has all the different letters that I want to work with on the left-hand side and then print them accordingly.